All right, tonight we are going to piss off both the far right and the far left. My name's John. This is the Narcoleptic Rant. Let's do this. All right, let's start off the night by pissing off the right. Let's talk about Nick Fuentes and the political action conference that he created called America First. And the only reason why I'm hearing about America First is because two Congress people went down apparently to make speeches at this conference. And so now I've heard about these two people going to speak at a white supremacist conference called America First. And of course, you hear that word, America First, you don't think anything bad, right? And they do this on purpose. All these organizations nowadays seem to be doing this on purpose. They'll name it something to where if you disagree with that, it makes you look bad, like you are the enemy. This is a manipulation tactic. So, this white supremacist group called their political action conference America First. So, let's say you disagree with America First and you're like, fuck America First because of the organization, because you know what it is, right? Well, people will look at you like, oh, you hate America, which of course isn't the case. And that also happens with people with Black Lives Matter because the bad people within that organization, same thing. If you don't like Black Lives Matter, you're labeled a racist. This is all silly. So I like to look into things and actually figure out what's going on, especially when I hear somebody calling somebody a white supremacist. So let's start off with Nick Fuentes. Check out his Wikipedia page. Nick Fuentes is an American far right and white nationalist political commentator and live streamer. The Anti Defamation League has described Fuentes as a white supremacist. They're right in a situation from what I've seen, but you know the Anti Defamation League is ridiculous. They labeled the bowl cut a white supremacist symbol because a white supremacist shooter, Dylan Roof, had a bowl cut. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. A former YouTuber, his channel was permanently suspended in February 2020 for violating YouTube's hate speech policy. Fuentes has described himself as an American nationalist. An American nationalist isn't a bad thing. As long as you believe anybody that comes to this country becomes a citizen is an American. But apparently this isn't the case in his case. Christian conservative and paleo conservative. He has expressed anti-Semitic views and Holocaust denial and is opposed to women's right to vote. I mean, that's just wild. Here's a clip from his podcast that I found.
Now, if everyone wants me to explain all of these obvious things, look, books suck, women cheating should get the death penalty, race mixing should be reported to the FBI. I mean, if you don't understand this, then you're just not intelligent, okay? Then you just have an 85 IQ, and you should be wearing a helmet, basically, is what I'm telling you. If you need me to go down and explain every little intricacy of why this is the case, you know, there's no book that says this. I am just a genius and just know it. I detect it. I have my finger on the pulse of the universe, okay?
See, now, if you believe that type of shit, you're fucking crazy, dude. You're absolutely crazy, and nobody should listen to you whatsoever. But again, that was just a clip that I found by typing in Nick Fuentes racist, you know? So, right before that, they could have cut off the part where he's like, okay, this is my impression of what they think of me. You know? I mean, you can't really go by that. You can't go by that. You got to go deeper than that. And I did. I found him at the podium at the America First Political Action conference talking about his, white supremacy. So here we go.
Before we define what America First is, we first have to define what America is. And you may think that this is a semantic exercise, but this is important because not everybody agrees. At the conference across the way at CPAC, and I'm, boo. And at Turning Point USA and Young America's Foundation, America is merely an idea. And it doesn't matter how many immigrants you bring over here. It doesn't matter what language this country speaks. It doesn't matter if this country even is on this continent. They say that as long as you have the Constitution and these liberal Enlightenment values, that you've got America. I'm here to tell you tonight that that is not true. It's not true. America, put simply, is a particular people in a particular place. It is really that simple. We are the Americans, and America is the home of the Americans. That's what it means to be America. America is one people, one nation on this continent, forged over hundreds of years by shared experiences, descended from an English cultural framework and influenced by European civilization. America is a Christian nation. And that's not just a slogan. When I say that America is a Christian nation, I'm saying that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and this is one nation under that God. Say his name. So if America ceases to be this people, if America ceases to retain that English cultural framework and the influence of European civilization, if it loses its white demographic core, and if it loses its faith in Jesus Christ, then this is not America anymore.
Plain as day, white. He specified white.
Framework and the influence of European civilization, if it loses its white demographic core, and if it loses its faith.
See, that's him expressing his white supremacist views. He sat there and straight up defined what America First is. And then ended the whole thing with, trying to preserve the white identity in America. Absolute bullshit, dude. This guy is a white supremacist. The America First Political Action Conference should not be anywhere near the media. And the only reason why I've heard of this is because of Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congresswoman from Georgia, who went there and spoke at this shit. And I just don't understand how she could do that when they've been, America First has been around since 2020. And this kid's been banned and shit for his racist rhetoric. She does not come off as being honest in any way, shape, or form. I think she knew exactly who she went to go talk to. And she's being a politician. That's all it is. Here it is. Check it out.
I have got to get to the airport, but I'm glad to talk to you about this. I do not know Nick Fuentes. I've never heard him speak. I've never seen a video. I don't know what his views are, so I'm not aligned with anything that may be controversial. What I can tell.
Okay, so right there, she's already started. I'm glad to talk to you. I don't know anything about Nick Fuentes. So people have come up to her already saying, hey, this is a white nationalist organization, right? But now here she goes.
You is I went to his event last night to address his very large following, because that is it's a very young following, and it's a generation I'm extremely concerned about.
It's a white national.
Wait. You didn't know who he was or anything about him, but you're worried about his large following, his young generation following. You're worried about them. Now, why would you be worried about them if you don't know anything about America first? Could it be because you know that they are racist and you're trying to make it sound like you're trying to pull a Daryl Davis? Like you're trying to get them away from that? I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all. And you completely ignore this guy when he's telling you straight up, hey, it's a white supremacist group. And instead, you go on to talk about Russia and Ukraine. Watch.
Excuse me a minute. I'll tell you exactly why I went. I went to talk to them about America First policies, and I talked to them about what's important for our country going forward. Now, in regards to Russia, Putin is a murderer, and he should have never invaded Ukraine. What he is doing is completely wrong. I stand with our NATO member allies, and I'm completely against this war.
It's a white nationalist
Excuse
group.
me, I'm going to finish. Everything that he's doing is wrong. He's killing people over and over. So I'm staunchly against it, and I'm staunchly against Vladimir Putin and his invasion of Ukraine. Another thing that is extremely important for me to say is the whole reason this is happening is because Joe Biden is a weak president. Now America is a weak country, and our entire world is falling apart, and we're seeing war erupt, which did not happen under President Trump because we had peace through strength. So this is something that we've got to really focus on, and I'm appalled at our country for putting America last this way, making us depend on China, Russia, and foreign countries for our critical supplies and our energy.
Do you endorse Nick Fuentes' views?
Excuse me, I don't know what his views are. I've never.
He's a white nationalist.
I do not endorse those views. The reason why I went was to talk to the audience.
Yeah, you just don't come off believable whatsoever. I mean, the first time that he said this is a white nationalist group, you should have been like, hey, I didn't know that. And then continued on with your whole Russia whatever rant. You don't come off genuine whatsoever.
Just like I've talked to many different audiences. I've talked to Democrat union workers earlier this week. I've talked here at CPAC. I talked to his people who were there. It wasn't an alignment. It was to talk about getting everyone together to save our country. And I think that's what.
Could I ask, why did you take the stage though?
An appearance is an endorsement.
Young white men.
And goodbye. I mean, come on. You're full of shit. She knew absolutely who she was going to talk to. She tried to act like she didn't know anything about Nick Fuentes whatsoever at first. And then she's like, oh, I'm worried about the younger generation who are his large following. Why are you worried about him if you don't know anything about him? Why are you worried? You're a politician just like the rest of them. And the problem is they call these organizations good things. Like America First. That's not a bad thing as long as you believe everybody who comes to America, who becomes a citizen, is an American. It's not a bad thing. And it confuses people. It confuses good people. They probably go to that place, and I don't think this is her case at all, but I bet good people who think, I'm here for America, go and speak at that conference, and they get called a racist because they didn't know better. I mean, they completely banned them from everything, and so now people aren't going to be able to easily hear those crazy views. They're going to see, America First Political Action Conference, that sounds like a good thing, I'm for America, and then they go and speak and don't hear anything about white supremacy because they're trying to hide that now. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how stupid people are. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have the racist documentary, Everything is Gonna Be All White. I'm not going to spend much time on this. We're going to stop at the first racist sentence that gets said in this documentary's trailer. Okay? Check this out.
I think what annoys me most about white people is when they pretend like they're the victim.
Bop! Right there. What annoys me the most about white people? I mean, you don't even have to add the victim part whatsoever. You know what annoys me the most about white people? So automatically right there, you are generalizing a whole group of people based on their skin color. If somebody white made a documentary and Showtime put it out, which damn well would not happen ever, and said, you know what annoys me the most about black people? You would be enraged Showtime would be no more. It would be absolutely destroyed. But yet, this stuff is being propped up. That is a huge issue. The only reason I heard about this Nick Fuentes white supremacist is because of Marjorie Taylor Greene going and speaking at his white supremacist conference. That's the only reason. He's not in the media. He's not in the major media. You know, I mean, I don't see any KKK members out there playing basketball. This is absolutely ridiculous. But here we are, Showtime putting out a straight up hate white documentary to create division. I mean, it is absolutely sick. It annoys you the most when white people play the victim. What are you fucking talking about? Oh, yeah, I assume you believe Jussie Smollett's story, unlike everybody else, and unlike the courts.
What's also annoying is when they kill us.
So nobody else is killing you. Nobody. It's annoying when white people kill us. Yeah, okay. It's annoying when black people kill us. Shut the fuck up. People killed you. It's not the skin color that's killing you. It's murderers that are killing you. Murderers. It's not the skin color. It's murderers. This does absolutely nothing. It's a skin color. I didn't choose it. You act like I before I was born, I was like, "Hey God, can you make me white so I don't have to deal with fucking blah 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 or whatever the fuck you think we get away with?" Fuck you. I didn't choose this shit. I didn't work for it and I didn't earn it. And I realize skin color does not fucking matter. You are absolute goddamn racists who care about skin color. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I mean, look at this Rotten Tomato score here. 4%. 4%. And then the regular critics do not even want to touch it. They do not want to touch it because it is that bad. And they putting out 2 episodes so far of this. 2 episodes. All right, let's check out the IMDb website here. Oh, a 1.1 out of 10. This is an absolute trash show. This is not a documentary. This is hate white propaganda. That is absolutely what this is. And it's being propped up by Showtime. This is not happening in the opposite spectrum, and that's a good thing, but it shouldn't be happening in this spectrum either. This is going to do nothing but create more division, create more hate. Smart people hate the individual. Stupid people generalize a whole group of people based on stupid shit like skin color. I don't like these people. Amanda Seales, she's the one we saw in that trailer, that little clip. Jamil Hill, Willie D, all these people. I'm going to remember you. I'm going to remember you, and I'm going to make sure that I never support you. Ever. Margaret Cho, I remember seeing you way back in the day. You were hilarious on Pulp Comics. But now, you just fall into this woke identity politic bullshit. And it's made you into a racist. You are what you say you hate. All of these people are exactly what they say they hate. Alzo Slade, Sacha Jenkins, Carmen Gloria Perez, Daisy Ducati, all these people. Everybody. Bun B, Lotus Lane, Linda Sarsour, Open Mike Eagle, Djala Brown, Capita, whatever, Havoc. I just don't care. You're all horribly racist, terrible people that have the balls, the audacity to put your name on this hate white propaganda called Everything's Gonna Be All White. Fuck you and fuck you, Showtime. All these people will be remembered and you will not be supported. This is doing nothing but creating hate. What's gonna happen is stupid people like I said, are going to see this. Everything's going to be all white bullshit. And these stupid white people are going to be like, okay, fuck black people. That's what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. And then the people who see this Nick Fuentes guy, which isn't going to be that many because he's not in the major media, stupid people on that side, they're going to be like, fuck white people, instead of hating the individual. Hate the individuals, not a whole group of people. Don't generalize people based on their skin color. If you're saying black people this or white people that, you done fucked up. You need to look in the mirror and call yourself a fucking racist because you're a racially minded person and you're trash. You're absolute fucking trash, and I'm goddamn tired of it. Can we not stand up against both sides simultaneously? Can we not do that? How come I haven't seen too many YouTubers doing exactly this? You know? I get that there's no shortage of people talking about the KKK or white supremacy. I get that. So what is the interest in doing that? Plus, nobody accepts it in society. Nobody except for those racist people. It's not in the media. It's not in the news. I mean, you construe shit as racist in the news, but nobody that's blatantly racist towards black people in the news. It's not happening. It's not happening. Not blatantly. Not like the left is doing. Can we call out both sides? Can we actually be against racism instead of enabling one side because it's your side? I don't care about teams. Screw your teams. It's fucking sad. And this shit creates stupid people like this lady.
I was driving around yesterday with my husband, and we kept seeing American flags everywhere for 4th of July. And am I the only one that Trump has ruined the flag for? Because now I just see American flags and go, oh, yeah, those are probably assholes.
I mean, really? See, you're gonna, just because you hate Trump, and I don't give a shit how you feel. I don't like presidents in general, so I don't care how you feel about Trump. You can love him, you can hate him. I'm not gonna feel any differently towards you, because I'm not a fucking radical, and I haven't been listening to this bullshit media for all these last 6 years, being fucking indoctrinated with everything is fucking racist bullshit. I mean, this lady hates the American flag now. Well, she didn't say she literally hates it, but I guarantee she ain't got one. Lives in America, you know, and is like, I don't like the American flag because of Trump liked it. Dude, do you not like painting because Hitler liked painting? Do you not like hammers because some serial killer used a hammer to kill people? Are you just the lowest fucking form of human being on the planet? I think you are. I think you absolutely are. One of the higher beings on this planet I want to talk to you about again. I talked about him in my first episode, but that was a 2-hour-long episode. This is Daryl Davis. He is a black man who befriends the KKK in order to de-radicalize them and take them away from the KKK. All right. He is awesome. He's done it. He's gotten up to 200 robes now. He's taken 200 people away from the KKK. This dude's fucking amazing. And if you can, read this whole article. I just want to read this one area right here. On what the Klansmen thought when he asked them why they hated him. Initially, they feel that if you're not white, you are inferior. They believe, the KKK that is, that black people have smaller brains, were incapable of higher achievement. And Daryl says, I'll give you an example of one. The guy was an exalted cyclops sitting in my car, in my passenger seat. He made the statement, which I'd heard before. Well, we all know that all black people have within them a gene that makes them violent. I turned to him, and I'm driving, and I said, wait a minute. I'm as black as anybody you've ever seen. I have never done a carjacking or a drive-by. How do you explain that? He didn't even pause to think about it. He said, your gene is latent. It hasn't come out yet. I mean, yeah, That's a straight up fucking racist. So how do you argue with somebody who is that far out in left field? I was dumbfounded. I'm just driving along. He's sitting over there all smug and secure, like, see, you have no response. And I thought about it for a minute. Then I used his point of reference. I said, well, we all know that all white people have a gene within them that makes them a serial killer, he says. What do you mean? And I said, well, name me 3 black serial killers. He thought about it and he couldn't do it. I said Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy, all whites. I said, son, you are a serial killer. He says, Daryl, I've never killed anybody. I said, your gene is latent. It hasn't come out yet. He goes, well, that's stupid. I said, well, duh. Yes, but you know what? You're right. What I said was stupid, but no more stupid than what you said to me. Then he got very, very quiet and changed the subject. 5 months later, based on that conversation, he left the Klan. His robe was the first robe Daryl ever got. I love this man. He is so awesome. Dude, you don't get any better than that. That's how you de-radicalize people, man. You be nice to them, you know? You don't sit here and be scumbags to people, just because they're stupid or ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Call them out. Tell them the truth. Hey, what you're doing is racist. It's wrong. This is fucking why. That's what you do. You show them, hey, like in this documentary, everything's going to be all white. I mean, can you not just switch white to black and realize that that was a bad fucking idea? Just the ignorance that goes behind making a documentary like that and not realizing that this is absolutely going to do nothing but divide people. But, Showtime puts this out. You have people like Joy Reid talking about missing white woman syndrome. You have Don Lemon trying to push that you're oppressed and white people are oppressors. All this shit in the media, nonstop. You have books trying to teach kids that white people are fucking evil. It's absolutely sick. That book's called Not My Idea, by the way, if you want to look that up. In case you don't believe me, it's absolutely sick. But I'm about done with it. I myself am pretty sick of this shit. Yeah, I'll more than likely be talking a lot more about the racism coming from the left. If there's, these racists like Nick Fuentes ending up getting in the spotlight, I'll talk about them too. But it's not going to be as common because it's generally not accepted in our society, and that's a good thing. But I'd like for us to generally not accept the racists coming from the left as well. Can we do that? Can we get on the same page? My name's John. This was the Narcoleptic Rant. My voice is getting kind of bad. All right, so let's get out of here. Thanks for watching.